Hello everyone, my name is Sunil Hwang, and today I'm going to talk about early historical and the cultural setting of a Myanmar area before a Sri Lankan Buddhism eventually arrived in Southeast Asia. That means I'm going to talk about Irrawaddy River Delta area. Irrawaddy River Delta area, as you can see from the map I'm going to show you here, is a huge area. Irrawaddy River flow through here all the way to the Winnan area in China. So this is a long river. In the ancient time, this Irrawaddy River worked as a kind of trade route from the Winnan and Sichuan area. The product actually coming down from there all the way through the Irrawaddy River, and then from the Irrawaddy River, it was a part of seaside trade route system all the way to the Iran, maybe all the way to the Mediterranean as well. So Myanmar is in the east of India, but when we see those area very carefully, you can see here that it is not easy for the culture moving from here to Myanmar area directly. Mainly because when you see very carefully in this map, there is a mountainous area all the way through the Himalaya mountain coming down through the Nagaland in India and Manipur and Mizoram and all the way down to the Irrawaddy Delta area. So this mountainous area very high. So culture cannot actually move through this area. It's almost impossible. During the Second World War, Japan tried to going up through here to the India, but they couldn't do it because of the the high mountainous area make it almost impossible for Japanese army going through there. It's very high mountainous area. So we believe the Buddhist culture in the old days, which is centered around here, northeastern part of India, moving through the sea trade route to the delta of Irrawaddy River and then going up. Or those area border with Bangladesh, we have a lower land going through, and this land was called the Arakan, or not, nowadays we said Rakhine people living there. So Rakhine people living there, and those lower area, maybe Buddhist culture coming down, cannot going up through the mountainous area, but step by step they move to there. So Prom or Thaton or Pagan, those area the culture can move there. So we believe the originally culture moving not through the kind of land route moving there, but through the sea route. But once Burmese establish the kingdom, they usually explain how Burmese culture started. So each history book talking about the ancient, starting point of their kingdom. So usually Burmese history book talking about Tagaung. Tagaung is a northern part of Myanmar. So it's very highly unlikely Buddhism coming directly from India to Tagaung, but they prefer those kind of setting. So that area we call it as Upper Myanmar. In the region of Irrawaddy River, legend has it that the first kingdom of Burma was established at Tagaung in the upper Irrawaddy River region. It is said that Abhiraja, Shakya prince from the Koshala kingdom in India, immigrated from India over snowy mountains and founded the kingdom. Most of Burmese history start with India because Burma very strong, Buddhist kingdom usually. So Tagaung is in the middle, upper part of the Myanmar, and they believe, Koshala area, centered around here, Ayodhya, and the southern part of Nepal over here. There was a kingdom called Koshala during the time of the Buddha. So one of the prince in the kingdom of Koshala, near maybe Ayodhya or some area, Gorakhpur or somewhere, he moved to the east from there and going over the mountain and arrived in Tagaung according to early Burmese history, which we don't know whether we can believe it or not. Tagaung, I will show you the plate. Taga. Taga. Tagaung, Myanmar. Okay. It's a northern part of Myanmar here. Tagaung, near the Irrawaddy River, but very, very far from the seaside. So we believe this kind of explanation is a kind of a Burmese way to link their history with the ancestry of a Buddhist clan. So Shakya is the clan of the Buddha. The Buddha, Shakya Muni, holy person of a Shakya tribe, something like that. They want to link their history with the Burma, with the Buddhism. Along with the Irrawaddy River basin, there were small city-states appeared and were playing a role as an important base for east-western trade. So from the very early period, along with this, Irrawaddy River area, which stretch from Bay of Bengal all the way to the Winnan area, small city-states starting to appear when they have power to control, river trade to the north, to the Winnan, to the south, to the Bay of Bengal. They become the bigger city, So step by step, kind of a state appear, which control the trade inside there. Once, goods from China arrive in the Bay of Bengal, nowadays Yangon or this southern part of Myanmar, it become the part of a trade system through which, even though people cannot go, but product can go all the way, maybe to the Persia, to the Mediterranean, or if it move to the Chinese area, going through the thin part of Malay Peninsula, it can move all the way to Philippines, Taiwan, maybe Korean Peninsula. That also is possible, I think. So it become very important for the part of system in between China and Southeast Asia and India and Mediterranean. In fact, this region appears to have participated in southern maritime Silk Road trade, which is southern maritime trade route, the seaside trade route, and connecting southwest of China to India and Persia. That's the one of the historical record actually appear. According to Chinese Han Chinese history, there is one traveler called the Zhang Jing. In Korean pronunciation Jangan. According to the Chinese history, Jangan was sent from those central part of China during the time of the Mudi, the fifth emperor of Han Chinese Empire, and he moved all the way through those western desert area. He arrived in nowadays Afghanistan and Pakistan area, and even some part of Iran as well. Very interesting to see that when Jiang Qing arrived in those Iranian area in Chinese is called Anshik. He go out to the market area expecting to see some strange object. But apart from, despite his expectation, he saw, kind of a product made from bamboo tree. So bamboo basket, bamboo stick was appear there, and which from the eye of Jiang Qing, it is the project of Sichuan area. So Sichuan area in China, as you can see, is Chengdu and those area. From the Chengdu to the Iran, it should go all the way to those mountainous area or desert area to reach there. That's almost impossible. So the only way, product of Sichuan, Chengdu area, the bamboo, to appear in the market of Iran is through the seaside trade route. So Sichuan product coming down to Winnan, and from Winnan it moves through the river area. When it reaches the Bay of Bengal, it become part of seaside trade route system. So through the seashore, it can move all the way through India, and then maybe to the Bay of Persia, Bay of Oman, reach there, and in the market there. So this kind of information actually suggests there already was a trade route. Even though people cannot go there, the product can actually move. Around the 500 Common Era, Indianization began to take place in this area, and the Indianized name of the king began to be appear. So Indian culture influence to the Myanmar, maybe through the trade route, seaside trade route, or some kind of maritime trade route. They become very, very influential, and because of that, the name of the king in the southern part of Myanmar, small city state, has got the name Barman. And the Barman, as I said to you before, was a name for the king through the Indian influence. Barman is a typical name of a Kshatriya king. And the Kshatriya king, when they have a Barman, it means a protector. Surya Barman, protector of the sun. Chandra Varma, protector of the moon, and so on. Those kind of name appear in the middle or lower part of Myanmar, a small city state. So definitely suggests that Indianization starting to appear there. So it seems that trade between Eastern India and the Western Southeast Asia, centered on Bay of Bengal, was activated during this period, and many Buddhist Hindu historic sites began to appear. So I said to you that before people here discover there was a monsoon seasonal wind, which blow during the winter time from northeast to southwest. During the summertime, from the southwest to the northeast. Usually they have a trade through those seaside, maritime trade route. Once they discovered it, it became very fast. So early period, Myanmar was under the influence of north eastern part of India. But once they discover this long, monsoon trade wind, South India and Sri Lanka become very prominent to give an influence to the Myanmar area. Discovery of a monsoon seasonal wind. Among the early city state, there is a city of Prom in the central region of Irrawaddy River. And according to Chinese record, king used the Indianized title while numerous Buddhist temples were built. And it is also said that children under Buddhist enter Buddhist temple at the age of 7 and receive education. And when they turn 20, they return to the society. So some monk can stay, so they become a monk. They want to going back to the society, they can go back. So Buddhist temple, according to these Chinese sources, already suggest that Buddhist temple used as a tools for the education. You can see here. From is this middle part of the Myanmar. From the historical book, the kingdom here was called the Sri Kshetra. Sri means holy, Kshetriya is field, holy field. Sri Kshetra, according to the Hindu tradition, is the place where, Mahabharata, the holy war between two family, actually took place. So Sri Kshetra, very Indianized name. King also used Indianized name. Maybe the ruling family follow Hindu tradition, but the ordinary people may follow Buddhism. So Buddhism also become very, very prosper in this area. Prom is very interesting because kind of artifact we can see from Prom is different from the culture and everything we can see from nowadays Southeast Asia. This is one of the Buddhist stupa appear in Prom area. Very peculiar shape, built in brick, but you can see the height of the person. That suggests this is a huge Buddhist stupa. So those things actually appear. So we don't know exactly what kind of Buddhism become very prosper. Maybe Mahayana Buddhism, maybe Buddhism of a northeastern part of India influence to those area. Maybe Southern Buddhism, we are not sure. But Prom become the center of early Buddhist kingdom, or early Indianized kingdom in Myanmar. But around 800, Common Era, Myanmar area was under the rule of Nanzhao. Nanzhao, in Korean pronunciation, is a Namjo, centered around the Delhi, in Yunnan province in South China. Delhi is the kingdom prosper in this Yunnan area. Nowadays, Yunnan become part of the China, and the Kunming, capital city of Yunnan province. But during the old days, the capital city of Yunnan was Dali. It's a Delhi in China. And during that time, this Delhi become independent country apart from China. Nanzhao kingdom prosper from during the Tang dynasty. They become very strong kingdom there during the Tang dynasty in China, which means 500 Common Era up until 900 Common Era. But when Song dynasty, become popular, they step by step moving down because of the Khitan or Liu kingdom appear in northern area. Also Manchurian people, Kim dynasty also appear, and eventually Mongolia, coming down to China, establish one kingdom, Mongolian kingdom. So during that time, Song dynasty going down to the southern part, they built the southern Song dynasty, and then eventually southern Song dynasty collapsed, and the Mongolian army coming down, and during that time, Nanzhao totally destroyed by a Mongol army. But that's very later period. But early period during the Tang dynasty, those Yunnan area is independent area. Nanzhao expand their influence through the Irrawaddy River. They actually occupy middle part of Myanmar under their rule. And very, very interestingly, Nanzhao king follow Buddhism. And the Buddhism Nanzhao King follow is very special. Nanzhao King prefer tantric Buddhism from West Bengal area. So nowadays, Bangladesh, during the old days, this area, the kingdom was called the Pala Kingdom. And the Buddhism was called, how can I say? Tantric Buddhism, or some kind of a Mikyo, according to Korean Mikyo, Milgyo, Korean pronunciation. So this is a different Buddhism from nowadays, Buddhism you can see. According to Burmese history book, this Buddhism was called, what is it? Ari Buddhism. The monk wear black suit rather than bright red suit we nowadays actually see. So while this middle or upper part of Myanmar was under Nanzhao rule, they were strongly influenced by Tantric Buddhism there from Western Bengal. With the advent of Nanzhao, Esoteric Buddhism, Mikyo, Tantric Buddhism has a great influence on upper and the middle part of region of Irrawaddy River. But from the middle of 10th century, several major cities began to reappear when the influence of Nanzhao weakened. Because 10th century, 11th century, 12th century, Southern Song dynasty coming down, and then Mongolia coming down. So Nanzhao no longer wants to have influence on the south. They have to protect their country from the Chinese influence and Mongolian influence, but eventually collapsed. So with that situation, suddenly, middle and low part of Myanmar is a kind of empty. Anyone who got the power can build their own kingdom. So during the time, few people, people living in Phrom area, built a city called Sriksetra in the central Burma. In Chinese history book, it appears as Piao, meaning cavalry. Maybe they are good at riding horses, And there was a maritime sea trade very active since around the 10th century in between lower part of Myanmar and the Sri Lanka and the Southeast Asia. During that time, those maritime trade route was mainly done by Mon Khmer people. So Mon Khmer people in Myanmar tend to be situated here in southern part of Myanmar area centered around the Bago nowadays and the Thaton. And among the oldest city, we can see Mon influence in Myanmar was Pagan, Thaton, actually Thaton. People there call themselves as a man or man. This is a Burmese pronunciation for Mon people. So in terms of ethnicity, they are the same with the people in Dharawati and the people who built the Punan and and people who built Angkor Wat. They are the original indigenous people there. They built the Thaton. So Thaton is a northwestern, southern part of Myanmar. Here is Thaton. Maybe in the old days, the seaside going up there. So might be Thaton, might be the seaside town. Nowadays it's the inside of the land, but in the old days, those area might be directly linking to the sea, I assume. From around 10th century, maritime exchanges with the southern India and Sri Lanka become very active, and it is believed that southern Buddhism, known as Theravada, had first its root here from the Sri Lanka. So from around 10th century, maritime trade become very active. So when you think about monsoon trade wind, it actually moving from the northeast to southwest or southwest to the northeast. So naturally, moving through here, if we use a trade route through the monsoon trade wind, boat can easily go not from the northern part of India, but from the southern part of India. They can go easily to the Myanmar area. Going back, because of the direction of the wind, they can easily go to southern part of India. So somehow the change of shift occur. Main area which has got its influence to Southeast Asia become not the northeastern part of India, but southern part of India and the Sri Lanka as well. And during that time, very important thing occurred. I'm going to explain to you. Song Dynasty, people living in the southern part of the China. During the Tang Dynasty or before Han Dynasty, Dojo area, there are not many people actually living. But because of the Khitan or Manchurian people occupy northern part of China, they step by going down. So Chinese influence become, weakened due to, the northern nomadic people get the power there. So even though Chinese power getting weakened during that time, the kind of economic power of Chinese people getting bigger and bigger, mainly because the advancement of agricultural technique and the advancement of trade and so on. People living in the south become very, very rich, and they want to have some luxury goods through those land route, the Silk Road from the Persia or Mediterranean, but they cannot access because this area occupied by Khitan people, Liu dynasty, or Manchurian people, or Mongolian people occupied there. So they no longer has got power to go there through the land route. So during that time, from the southern part of China, they starting to build their own boat, which was junk, we usually call it. The flat surface down there, the boat we usually call it junk. Junk was built, in Guangdong area, Fujian area, and Shanghai area. And through those boats, they do travel through the sea trade route all the way to maybe Persia or Mediterranean. They try to reach there. When trade route become different, used to be through the land route using a camel, but now they use boat. So the main goods they are exporting from there to India and Persia become different because a kind of a camel caravan. Silk is the best thing they can do because silk very thin. They made some kind of heavy load. Huge number of silk can be loaded into the camel, and the silk is very flexible, so it doesn't have to be destroyed by some kind of some kind of moving difficulty and so on. It's very easy, so easily move through there. But silk is a fabric. Maritime trade require put them into the boat. In the boat, there are lots of water and moisture, and water and moisture kill the fabric, right? So it is not that good. So during the Song Dynasty, among the most important trade goods they can export to India and Persia become changed. Maybe through the land route continue to be the silk, but through the seaside route, the main thing they actually export was a ceramic. Ceramic become very popular. Ceramic become very, very expensive. China made one of the best ceramic during that time. So people in Myanmar, southern part of Myanmar or Thailand, those area, they try to have a kind of a middle player to deliver Chinese ceramic through the Southeast Asia to the India and Islamic area, in Persia and so on. They just do it. But step by step, they discover that they can also make a ceramic. And for making a good ceramic, the soil is very important. In Korean Peninsula, the southern shore has got good soil. Hadong, or southern part of Jeollanam-do area has got good soil. So during the Goryeo dynasty, lots of Goryeo ceramic made here. Those ceramic move not through the land route, but through the sea route, all the way to the Ganghwa Island or Kaesong, the capital city of Goryeo dynasty. Similarly, the soil nearby Thaton and those southern part of Myanmar was excellent for making ceramics. So somehow 9th century, 10th century, 11th century, they no longer wants to just deliver Chinese ceramic to the Islamic world. They starting to make it on my own. So even nowadays, it is very peculiar. But if you go to northern Thailand, Lamphun or Lampang and Chiang Mai area, soil was very good. So ceramic factory here is prosperous. Very, very nice ceramic you can actually get. So here suddenly ceramic become very, very popular. So many area we can see ceramic factory was built. So with the ceramic built here, with the help of monsoon trade wind, suddenly southern part of India and Sri Lanka and southern part of Myanmar linked with the ceramic trade route. So many people here in southern India or Sri Lanka go to Burmese area through the monsoon trade wind, and also people here moving to Sri Lanka and southern part of India through the monsoon trade wind. Once Southeast Asian ceramic reach here, southern part of India, it can move to Persia or Saudi Arabia or Egypt through the Islamic traders. Islam good at trade through sea, so they can possible. So with the trade very, very popular, frequently moving from here to there to here, step by step, traders start to bring a Buddhist monk to southern part of Myanmar. Traders bring Hindu priest to the southern part of Myanmar, so that Indian Hindu culture and Indian Buddhist culture become very popular. It's not from northern part of India, but from the southern part of India. Suddenly it become very popular. So one of the city which become very prosper was called the Thaton, in those area in the seaside, Thaton. So Thaton become center of trade between Myanmar and Sri Lanka. Burman people also built their own city called Pagan. So Pagan is a very, very important city in Myanmar, because Pagan made the first unified city. Nowadays, Myanmar tend to be established during the Pagan unify all the kingdom there. It's in the middle part. So usually those area where Pagan is, we usually call this area in between Pagan and Naypyidaw, current day capital city of Myanmar, as a climate zone. From the Naypyidaw going up to the Pagan area was a dry area, and from Naypyidaw going down is a rainy area, wet area, something like that. So Pagan is typically very, very dry area. The water they can get usually from the river, only from the river. But Pagan during the 10th or 11th century, when Pagan become very stronger, they discover that they learn from maybe Nanzhao. They can make lots of canal there, through which the the water of Irrawaddy River can reach near the flat area in the east and the western part of the Pagan Kingdom, so that their area where they can do the agriculture become expanding. Suddenly, agricultural field become expanding. Their production of rice and everything become expanding. So with the extra, food product, when it become possible, Pagan build the army, very very strong, Burmese army. With that army, they conquer, they unify the whole area. Nowadays we call the Myanmar. So one of the first unified kingdom appear during the time of Pagan. Burman people also built their city called Pagan in the middle of the Irrawaddy River. It is said that Pagan was the first built by King Putsawati and reached its heyday in the 11th century during the reign of King Aniruta. King Aniruta, among the most famous king in Burmese history. I don't know whether I haven't brought his photo, but Aniruta is a very very powerful king in Pagan area, and during that time, those middle and the upper part of Myanmar under the control of Pagan, and the southern part under the control of Thaton, and the people different. Pagan, Burman people, Thaton, Mon people. Mon people good at trade, and they accept Buddhism from Sri Lanka. But this middle or upper part of Myanmar, people were Burman people, and they were influenced by Buddhism during the time of Nanzhao occupation. So their Buddhism more like Mahayana or Tantric Buddhism. But when Pagan has got its power to north, middle, and upper part of Myanmar, they thought, we are the new kingdom. We want to remove all the Buddhist influence left by Nanzhao people, which means Ari Buddhism or Tantric Buddhism. They want to remove it. So step by step, the king there wants to purify their Buddhism by something else. And then, according to the legend, one day, when the king Aniruta of Pagan going to the south for the hunting, he met one monk from Thaton. And the monk from Thaton said, our Buddhism is different. So Buddhism from Thaton, we call it as a Theravada Buddhism or Sri Lankan Buddhism. And the monk said, our Buddhism is more pure, more close to the original teaching of the Buddha. So King Aniruddha thought this is a chance for him to remove all the influence from Nanzhao influence on Buddhism in his domain. So he thought those Buddhism from Thaton could be very nice. And the Thaton, the Buddhism there, already has got Pali Tipitaka books contain the early teaching of the Buddha written in Sinhala script, but the language is Pali already there. So the king, the Aniruddha of Pagan sent an embassy to the Thaton, asking to send some of the Buddhist canon to their kingdom. During that time, king of Thaton was called Manoha. The king Manoha, a very elegant person, and he might be, overestimate the power of their kingdom compared with the Pagan, because Pagan is a military kingdom and Thaton is a trade kingdom. When they fight each other, it is a no match. So when King Aniruddha of Pagan asked the king of Thaton for hand over their Tipitaka or their Theravada Buddhism so that they can use it in Thaton, King Manoha rejected it. That make Aniruddha become very upset. So they attack, Pagan from the north and they easily undergo. Pagan army very strong compared with the army of Mon people, and the kingdom of Thaton collapsed because of that. So let me go through. King conquered from Thaton, Pew, and developed his kingdom into an empire on the same scale as present-day Myanmar. Meanwhile, the occupation of Thaton raises numerous questions regarding expansion of Theravada Buddhism in central Burma. According to the legend, King Aniruddha wanted to reform the popular esoteric Buddhism, Tantric Buddhism, in his domain called Ari Buddhism, through accepting Theravada Buddhism from the Thaton. So Ari Buddhism, more like Mongolian or Tibetan Buddhism nowadays. At that time, Thaton had grown into a very wealthy place through trade with southern India and Sri Lanka. Aniruddha wanted Tipitaka, early Buddhist canon, that the Thaton kingdom had, but when Thaton refused it to hand over, he raised an army and conquered the city of Thaton. As a result, there were Mon Theravada monks moved from Thaton to Pagan to reform Ari Buddhism there. So during the region of King Aniruddha, Buddhism in the middle or upper part of Myanmar used to be under the influence of Nanzhao or Tantric Buddhism. That influence all disappeared, and the kingdom suddenly become a southern Buddhist country, during this time, with the help of Mon people, with the help of Mon Tipitaka. Because in order to preserve Tipitaka, they need the monk as well, because Tipitaka is based upon chanting. Endless chanting make Tipitaka preserved there. So chanting is required, and because of that, many Thaton Mon monk moved to the Pagan area. They stay there, and they keep the influence over there. So with this event, even though the kingdom collapsed, the Thaton or Mon kingdom, but their religion expanded to the middle and upper part of Myanmar, which means Sri Lanka Buddhism spread all over Myanmar area. As a result, there were Mon Theravada monks moving there. Therefore, countless traces of Mon Buddhism remain at the Buddhism in Pagan. These efforts lead to the expansion of Theravada Buddhism to dominate throughout Myanmar. The first unified Pagan was later invaded by Mongolian army in 1284 and completely occupied during the region of King Kubilai in one dynasty. One Sejong in Korean pronunciation. Pagan kingdom collapsed. So, Pagan kingdom, if you want to go to Myanmar, leave many excellent Buddhist, building there. So this is one of the early Pagan Buddhist stupa, supposed to be built during the time of the King Aniruddha. I'm not sure. And this kind of Burmese Buddhist pagoda, I already show you when I talk about, what is it? Lampang area, Burmese style. Huge Buddhist stupa there, in Pagan area. Among my favorite is this temple. This temple was called the Ananda Temple. Aniruddha and the successors has got some of the Indian wife. So one of the king, Kianjita, who has got his mother from India. His mother wants to see a Buddhist temple in Indian style. So Kianjita sent people to the north eastern part of India to learn how to build a Buddhist stupa and when they coming back, they built this Ananda temple. So if you go to India nowadays, most of Buddhist temple destroyed during the war, with the war against what is it? Muslim invasion. Only remains you can see. But if you go to Pagan, it's very far from northeastern part of India. But original shape of the Buddhist temple continue to be survived here, and this is very nice temple construction according to northeastern part of Indian style, but people there wants to leave their own influence. Here, in the down part, there are kind of a ceramic plate where life story of the Buddha or past life story of the Buddha decorated. Here, when you see very carefully, Mon influence still there. Pali canon and the Mon influence all left here, even though the building was eastern style. And the inside of this huge Ananda temple, not this one. You can see the Buddha statue, 10th century, wooden Buddha statue, beautifully made, different kind of a Buddha statue, actually preserved here, So Pagan is a kind of a kingdom continue to prosper with the identity of Burman, even though their kingdom collapsed the war. Very, very strong kingdom. Southern Buddhism in Southeast Asia is not a religion that can spread in a short period of time with the dramatic effort of the king or outstanding monk. To establish Southern Buddhism in a region, it seems that numerous pre-existing requirements, such as a domain of the order, support of royal family, support of people, volunteers to become monk, and the establishment of a monastery are required. In Southeast Asia, before 10th century, it is presumably southern region of present-day Myanmar that had the capacity to accept the Sri Lankan Theravada Buddhism through active maritime trade, and the ethnic Mon people seems to have played an important role. So Burmese Mon people, unfortunately, almost disappeared. During 1500, 1600, 1700, northern Burman people and southern Mon people fighting each other. But eventually, Burman people was winning, so they conquer southern part of Myanmar. So during that time, many Mon people fled from there to the Thailand. Some of them nowadays in all over the world or something like that. So Mon population going down and down. So Mon people, I have to say, they are the people who first accept Sri Lankan Theravada Buddhism into Southeast Asia, but unfortunately they fail to establish their own nation state. So the occupation of Thaton by King Aniruddha of Pagan in 11th century, and the large-scale migration of Mon Theravada monk together with the Pali canon paradoxically show that Southern Buddhism was already firmly established in the region of Thaton. So Thaton, I guess, central part during the time when King Aniruddha invaded, already Buddhism firmly established. At that time, Mon of Thaton also had a close relationship with Haripunchaya, centered in Rampun, Haripunchaya, also Mon people. Their language very similar. They can talk each other very easily in northern Thailand. Both were using the same Khmer Mon language, in which there was no significant difference. With this kinship relationship between the two, Sri Lankan Theravada Buddhism expand to through the northern Thailand as well. Naturally, Pagan and Thaton and northern Thailand very close. Here is a Thaton, and going over here is a Lampun. So it's very close, not that very far. From the close relationship between the two people, Buddhism, Theravada Buddhism there easily move from here to Lampun, Lampang, and Chiang Mai area. As you can see in the map. So Buddhism, Theravada Buddhism, with this kinsman's relation in terms of Mon ethnic group, moved to northern Thailand very easily. Southern part of Myanmar, the Mon people usually said that the place where they are living is Hamsawati. Hamsa is the sea bird. Hamsa go to the other shore, coming back the other shore, something like that. Girogi in Korean, Hamsawati, the place of the Girogi, or place of a seabird, or something like that. Hamsawati is the ancient name of the southern part of Myanmar. Legend has it that the Buddha passing by this area through flying, saw a pair of goose standing up and down on very small sandbar, and prophesied that this land would be developed into great city of Mon. This place later became Pegu, the largest city of Mon people, which became center of southern Myanmar up until 17th century. In particular, Pegu prospered and developed as a central Myanmar from 1500 to 1700, unleashing the heyday of the Mon people, and then Mon people disappeared. So Hamsawati, if you go to Southeast Asia, you can see this kind of a symbol. Two goose sitting each other, up and down. I can't see here. Like this one, one goes down there, another one going up there, because they have a very, very small sandbed. So these two goose standing up and down become a symbol of Mon people. It becomes symbol of Mon people. I think I can find some of the photo here in my kind of a photo archive. Let me check it. I think this one. This is a Burmese. Mon people, Mon. Yeah, Mon and kingship. Okay. If you go to southern part of Myanmar or northern Thailand, you can see two goose sitting each other, up and down. That's a symbol of Mon people. When you see this, you should remember that these are the symbol of Mon people who first accept the Buddhism, to Southeast Asia. And this is the Buddha, according to the legend, flying very high. And the Mon area was under the sea, and he saw the goose up and down and predicted this, watery area become land area, and it become very, very prosperous Buddhist kingdom. That was a Pegu, Mon's heyday. And if you go to Thailand, usually just one goose. But if you go to some of the special place, sometimes you can see the two. But usually northern Thailand, just one. Sometimes this kind of two appear, but not exactly the goose you can see in in that area. So if you see this is the same symbol of Mon people in Myanmar. You can see it in Thailand as well nowadays. So I just explained very briefly about early history of Myanmar. before Sri Lankan Buddhism coming. I already talked about the role of Mon people in the south, and kind of influence Myanmar reached through those Southeast Asia. So Myanmar used to be very, very strong Buddhist country when there was a Burmese kingdom there. But nowadays, there is no longer the king. Usually, royal family become supporter of Buddhism. But nowadays, support of Buddhism disappear, and the military and Burmese Buddhism sometimes fight each other. So the situation is not that good. So that's the situation in Myanmar. So I stop here today. Maybe I can continue. Thank you very much.